Yo, what is good, AYEOFAM? I'm back with another video, man. You know what I'm saying? Today's video, we got something pretty important. A lot of people have been asking me and wondering, Raph, how do you double pump in COD Mobile? Today's video, I'm going to show you guys how, man. Before I hop to today's video, make sure if you guys are new, drop a subscription down below. Thank you guys so much for 16,000 subscribers. We're going to make our way to 20 to 50, and then eventually we're going to get the 100K plaque. But anyways, though, let me stop trolling. One more thing I want to add before we hop to today's video. If you are somebody who has a short attention span, there's no problem with that. You don't want to hear me yap. There are going to be timestamps down below. I'm going to be featuring specific parts of the video. You can skip towards that, but I once again highly recommend you to watch the full video. It's not going to be too lengthy. I'm going to be telling you guys a lot of key notes and important things that you guys might be missing on how to use double pump. So let's go ahead and hop to the video, man. Alright, hopping into the first part of the video. Obviously, the loadouts. We're going to be showcasing two parts of the loadout. One is going to be the HS-045 without the barrel. Now, I have done a lot of testing with the shotgun. I do not recommend using the barrel, but I will still show you guys how to use the barrel efficiently with double pump. Here's the build right here. As in terms of whether or not I recommend red or green laser, if you are somebody who struggles a lot with sprint fire delay, I'll be honest, I don't recommend it for the HS-45, but you could use the green laser. Otherwise, I really recommend to use the red laser for the HS, because the HS does have pretty bad hip fire consistency when it comes to one tapping compared to the KRM. Which, by the way, let's hop into it. The KRM, pretty basic, pretty standard build. Everybody uses this type of build. As in terms of the KRM, whether or not you want to use the red or the green laser, if you're somebody who just likes the gun hoe, just a running gun, you could use the green laser, because I feel like the KRM has enough hip fire consistency to a certain extent to be able to one tap regardless of the laser. I personally find more enjoyment using the red laser though, but to each its own. Now, as in terms of the loadout, obviously the first and most important part, you're gonna need overkill. If you don't have enough coins to buy, which you should, but if you don't, just go in and grind some pumps. I don't know, get some points, cop the overkill wild card. It's basically what you're going to need to literally have two shotguns. Now, when it comes to the tactical usage, I'm not really going to pay too much attention to anything else. The tactical usage, I highly recommend using smokes to navigate to in and around the maps at times. Lightweight, I feel like is pretty important. Amped. You need amped because overkill actually also allows you to weapon swap faster. And when you have amped, you swap like crazy. I will show you guys when I hop to the game just how fast you swap. As it turns to the blue perk, it's up to you. I'd probably go between survival training, tactical mask, or dead silence. I personally like dead silence because I don't really find myself falling into situations where I get hit by a tactical or nothing like that. But anyways, let's go and hop to the training room. I'm going to show you guys in and around how to use double pump pretty quickly. So let's go and hop to the first part of the video. Now, as you can see, obviously, before we hop to the tutorial, when you have amped, it's pretty darn quick how fast you can swap. But technically speaking, that function and that fundamental of being able to swap that fast isn't what we're paying attention to today. It's actually going to be something that a lot of people tend to overlook. Now, when it comes to shotguns, they all have one thing in common. For the most part, all the pump action shotguns are plagued by a very slow and lengthy firing tool. Same thing with snipers, okay? What we're going to be looking to today is we're going to actually pull up my phone, because I do have the calculations on my phone. When it comes to KRM, very basic. It has a firing tool of 1,000, aka 1 second. Now, why is this important? In order to understand when your gun is able to actually weapon swap after you shoot, you must grab, at least from my calculations, what I know of, you must grab the actual total fire tool and divide it by 2. So 1,000 divided by 2, that's about 500 milliseconds. If you don't know what that sounds like, great. We got the Arctic 50, and the Arctic 50 shoots once every 500 milliseconds, I'm pretty sure. So just pay attention to your ears, kick up your volume a little bit, and listen to how fast it shoots. Now, as you can see, it goes boom, 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 boom. That's half of a second per shot. So, yeah. Why is this important? I'll tell you guys really soon. But before we do that, HS-045, 1280 firing tool without the barrel. With the barrel, it goes up to a whopping 1344. Okay? Divide that in half, and now you have 640 without the barrel and 672 with the barrel. Why are these numbers very important, Raph? No problem. Let me tell you. Now, when it comes to shotguns and every single gun in the game in general, we have something called a reload cancel. Now, I'm not talking about when you shoot your gun and then you try to reload, and I'll even make the actual part of the HUD a lot more bigger so you guys can see a lot more visibly. Now, pay attention to that little gold, like, outline that's going to run across from the left to the right of the actual HUD itself. Once it hits the right part, that means you are officially done reloading, and after your tactical reload, aka the real reload, is done, the rest of the reload animation, it's usually 75% of the reload animation, which actually is effectively you reloading the gun. For the rest of it, it's just animation bullshit. You don't really need to pay too much attention to that. With the Arctic 50, you can really see it a lot more visibly. Boom. And then you're absolutely done. So why is this important? Well, while shotguns do, technically speaking, have a fire interval, or sorry, a reload interval, you know what I'm saying? That on the camera is pretty darn quick. We're not paying attention to that, but we are going to pay attention to one factor. When you take that and you implement it to shotguns, you'll start to realize there's something very interesting. Now, if you ever find yourself, you encounter this situation where you try to swap after you shoot, your whole animation ends, right? That basically means there's going to be, for however long the shotgun shot takes, there's going to be a window, a gap in that animation in which you're actually allowed to swap instantly instead of having to wait the whole time. This is very important when it comes to double pumping, because double pumping is effectively just being able to swap between guns pretty quickly to your next shot. Now, this is going to be pretty important when it comes to just being able to swap between shots in quick succession. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the question is, how can we understand when that window is available, and how can I understand when to swap? Exactly and consistently. I'll teach you. You're going to require two things to pay attention to. Number one, use your ears to listen to when the shotgun is actually about to, click and actually chamber. In this case, boom. At that point, the next shot is already loaded, okay? When that's done, that means you're able, or once that sound cue starts, you're able to swap. If you don't really have earbuds, you're not playing with earbuds, it's all good. Pay attention to your character's left hand, in this case, the hand that is right on where the guard of the shotgun is. When you shoot, you're able to swap, you know what I'm saying, after the actual hand goes back, okay? So don't really wait for the whole animation to finish and the character's hand to actually go back like that, but rather swap right before that happens, because there's that little window, okay? Shotgun swapping isn't all about being able to tap the swap button like instantaneously, because this is going to happen. When you tap it too quick, that happens. You have to wait for the full animation. I like to call that the punishments. You got to understand, shotguns are very tricky. If you don't respect its rule of thumb, it will not respect you, and you will be punished, and there are consequences every single time. Okay, so once you understand how to understand that gap, I'll take you to the next part. Now, when I was talking about fire interval, why is fire interval very important? Well, even though you're being able to swap, you're technically speaking, KRM's fire interval is 1,000. Instead of having one shot per second, right? You can have 2 shots per second, which is pretty convenient. That's the whole point of double pump. However, even though you're technically speaking, you're bypassing the gun's full animation of chambering, even though that's happening. You gotta realize the fire interval of both shotguns still exists. This is why earlier I told you guys do not use extended light barrel. Okay, now we're gonna be focused on the HSF45 because this is another important part of the video. Alright, HSF45's fire interval without the barrel is 1280. Alright, that's what it sounds like. If you don't know how I'm doing that, by the way, side note, go to settings, go to basic. You want to scroll all the way down to the left column on the top part, bolt action weapon pre-input. All this does is for any weapon that is a bolt action, not semi-automatic, but bolt action, okay, that technically requires you to, chamber. If you tap it on the shoot button, it allows you to shoot in succession, okay? Why is this important, okay? Remember when I said to use your ears? Ears are very important because take time out your day to listen to the fire interval and remember, alright, there's a pattern to everything in this game. This is a sequence because it's consistent, okay? This is what 1,280 milliseconds sounds like. Whereas the KRM is basically 1,000, aka 1 second. Very simple stuff. Now, when you understand and acknowledge the fire interval of both shotguns, and you also understand and realize where that window is to be able to swap between 2 shotguns, you'll start to realize the third thing, alright? Pattern recognition. Now, when it comes to shotgunning and double pumping, yes, you do have 2 shotguns, but remember, they have fire intervals. You can't just go out your way and try to shoot really quickly. Because even though I'm swapping really quickly on time, right? You gotta remember, the HS shoots pretty slowly in comparison to the KRM. So you gotta respect its fire rate. I highly recommend, if you are using double pump, entry with the KRM. Because the KRM swaps or it finishes its chamber a lot more quicker than in comparison to the HSF5, because the HSF4.5 has a slower fire interval. But anyways, once you understand the pattern of when to like go from like shooting, swap shoot, swap shoot, swap shoot, swap shoot, that's kind of what it sounds like. It was like shoot, swap shoot, swap shoot, swap shoot. You understand, you remember that, you get the pattern in your head. At that point, it just becomes muscle memory. It's gonna look something like this. As right there, and right there as well, I'm screwing up because I'm tapping the swap too early. Remember, even though you have two shotguns, and shotguns, you know, the biggest misconception is people think shotgun is all about playing aggressive, playing fast, boom, bam, bop, this, that. That's not correct. Shotguns require the most accuracy out of every single gun because they are pellets. They don't confirm a kill unless the crosshair is dead on. So yeah, once you get that down, and you just practice, it'll look something like this. But yeah, pretty simple stuff. Understand the pattern. Recognize the pattern in which the weapon is now available to swap. That, you know what I'm saying. Remember the fire interval. KRM's 500 millisecond. Total fire interval is 1,000 divided by 2, 500. That's the window and the gap in which you're able to swap and skip the full reload animation. Okay. HS is 640 because the fire interval, mind you, without the barrel, is 1280. All right. 640 right there. Now, keep in mind, with the barrel, this is a little bit more tricky, okay? When it comes to the HS's fire interval, I'm gonna let you listen to it. This is with the barrel. It's really, really slow. Okay? Now, if we compare it to without the barrel, that's a lot more faster, okay? But don't pay attention, ironically speaking, don't pay attention to the fire rate through your ears. Instead, look at the gun's animation when it's actually chambering. That window goes from 640 milliseconds to 672. You might not think that's a lot, but it is a substantial amount, just enough to really realize sometimes, even myself, when I'm double pumping, like in this case, you know what I'm saying, with the HS, with the barrel, it's very, very, very slow. Okay, so I have to actually like go out my way and wait for the full animation of the gun to end. And then I'll be able to kind of use the HS. Like, this is what the cadence kind of sounds like without the barrel. You know, the brutal fire rate nerf, even with amped and the weapon stop, I don't recommend. There's just too many flaws when it comes to using the barrel, when the whole point of double pumping is simultaneously playing fast enough and swapping fast enough where you can get two shots quick in succession, you know, while maintaining accuracy. But that is why I do not recommend using HSF4.5 with extended light barrel. I will say though, if you are planning to use the HSF4.5 as a single shotgun, I highly recommend using the extended light barrel, because I will say, I do notice, I'll pull up the stats really, really quickly for you guys. Now, as you can see, top to bottom, there's a key difference. The top one is basically HS without a barrel. Bottom is HS with a barrel. Pretty obvious. Fire rate interval is slightly reduced with the barrel. However, we're not paying attention to that. We're paying attention to the first damage range. Now, 26 damage per pellet is actually very important. In the first damage range, I feel like that is HS's prime. From my experience of using a shotgun, I notice when I don't actually use the barrel, once I'm out of that 6-meter range, my ability to consistently one-tap, even though technically shotgun has 15 pellets, its consistency on paper is the best amongst all pump action shotguns to be able to one-tap, in this case 11 meters. I really don't think so. Outside of that first weapon range, I notice I get a substantial amount of hit markers without the barrel. Which is why, when you're using it as a single shotgun, I highly recommend it in Search and Destroy, use the barrel. Using the barrel, even though it does have a fire rate nerf, in S&D, fire rate, if you're playing it right, you don't really need to be able to shoot rapidly, okay? You really want to extend that first damage range, because I feel like that's where HS's prime really is when it comes to the consistency to one-tap. Because once you hit that second range, it becomes a lot worse than the KRM, just from personal experience. Anyways, though, guys, you know, pretty simple video. It's very straightforward. Double pump may seem very intimidating at first, but once you understand pattern recognition, the cadence into which the guns sound, right? And understanding that reload cancel and that window into which you can swap. Once again, KRM 1000 divided by 2, 500. With the 1280 of the HS0405, divide that by 2, you got 640. Okay. With the extended light barrel, I don't think I mentioned this, but with the extended light barrel, the fire rate goes to 1344. Your window will be active at around the 672. I don't recommend it when it comes to double pumping, but that's about it. Anyways, though, once again, if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments down below. Before I leave, I will be working on a video specifically targeting the KRM and the HS0405. I will be doing an in-depth review on how to actually use both the HS and the KRM, you know what I'm saying, in COD Mobile. They will have specific videos to themselves. Anyways, though, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. If you guys have any questions, anything, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. Best of luck to you guys. Just remember, if you're ever like demotivated, or you feel like you're just stuck and you can't understand how to use the shotguns, double pump especially, come back to this video and really review and remember the pattern. Once you get down the pattern and you understand that fire interval and being able to cancel the full fire interval animation, you should be straight. But besides that, best of luck. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for 16,000 subscribers, man. If you guys want to join the AYO gang, drop a membership subscription down below. It's only $1. Besides that, I love you guys so much. Best of luck. I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Peace.